water will become a commodity that people fight over. Scientists out there that will say we're already bordering on too late. I think nature connection is one of the most overlooked and powerful levers for long-term change. It's our planet, it's our only home. There's one, we're destroying it, and in this moment in time, very real chance that they won't exist by the time it comes out. So I'm Katie, Tostevin Hobbs, and I founded a business, it's a social enterprise called Zootronic Productions. So we are reimagining the future of wildlife experiences digitally, ethically and emotionally. So we're using immersive tech, storytelling and sensory design to help families, and in particular young kids, retain their connection with nature and accelerate a shift away from needless captivity.
I have a past to this, and I've always been in two minds about it because I don't like animals being locked up, but then I also want my daughter to be like one with nature.
Yeah.
And we go like most Fridays, so I feel part of the problem, but then I feel a bit guilty about it. But I'm also like, oh, how else do we?
Yeah. I think you're not alone in that. I think the majority of people that I speak to when I talk about what I do that's the response people come back with is, do you know what? I've been to the zoo and there was just something about it that made me feel uncomfortable. And I think instinctively we know it's uncomfortable and not right, and the world's moved forward, but like you, particularly when there's kids in the mix, want somewhere to take kids to learn about animals. It can be seen as, it's time together, it's outdoors, it's a way to get up close to animals, but a feeling of uncomfortableness. And I think for me, I started out, my background is animal welfare and conservation, and as part of my work I visited some awful zoos around the world, really not progressive zoos, ones that are purely there for entertainment, nothing else, and the animal welfare levels are shockingly low, and for me those places just shouldn't exist. And one of the hardest things I did when I was visiting and documenting those places was seeing a group of performing elephants, and the way they were treated was just horrific, and I left that place knowing that there was nothing I could do for those elephants in that moment. They were going to be there for decades, potentially 24/7, doing the same thing, chained up, horrible. And I made a promise mentally that I was going to do something about this. So this journey very much started about animal welfare, and there's just with what you were saying in mind, a really good quote comes to mind from someone who's an inventor called Buckminster Fuller, and it's something that's inspired me, which is that you can't change things by fighting the existing reality. To change things, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. So I was like, okay, how can I build a different kind of zoo? And this is for all of the kids out there and all the families out there that want to take their kids somewhere to learn about and engage with and get inspired with and discover animals, but don't want to contribute to or perpetuate the problem of captivity, the problems associated with that. So that's very much how it's set about. But then along the journey, there's been so many light bulb moments, and it's turned into something a lot bigger.
That's incredible. I love this. I love this idea. So, obviously, you spoke about you were there. Was it? Where were you doing for the elephants?
In that particular place, it was a venue in Thailand, actually.
That's what I saw them as well.
Okay.
And I was like, that's the first time I was like, this is not right. And I was like, really young.
Yeah.
I've got photos of them.
Yeah.
I remember feeling at that age, I'm like, this is
Yeah.
and I love that quote. It's like, well, I do something different to change what's normal.
It's very inspiring, yeah.
Where is the business now?
Yeah, so started out, that was the journey, and actually along the way I was very lucky to have some conversations with people like Tim Smith from the Eden Project, and a really incredible lady who's partner in a law firm in the States. She used to be an executive at Universal Studios, and they pushed me to dig deeper into the narrative behind this, dig down further into the why layers. And it was that process, which actually wasn't that easy, surprisingly, but it was that process. And also during the time I started the business, I also became a parent. So it opened my eyes to a lot of things. So I saw the world through the eyes of a baby and then toddler, and also gained the perspective of a parent. And I started to realise just how influential and prolific children's media is in terms of subtle messaging that actually dismantles an innate connection to nature. It happens without us even realising. Even in traditional nursery rhymes, for example, like Little Red Riding Hood, it teaches a fear of wolves and a fear of the woods, right? So we're born connected to nature. So these are the things, the pillars we now have in the business is that nature connection matters. This is scientifically, it's proven, it's recognised at government and UN level. If we don't change our relationship with nature, we're not going to be able to change the trajectory we're on in terms of climate crisis and biodiversity loss. So nature connection really matters, and for our well-being and our mental health very much. And the closer you are to nature, the more likely you are to protect animals, to protect the environment. So it's really important. Early learning matters. The first 5 years of a child's life are the most important. Everything they see and experience during that time helps shape who they will be in the future. So really, really important. Animal well-being, it needs no explanation. It's really, really important. And also access and opportunity. I think, it's really become almost, exclusive for people to be able to afford to go to faraway ecosystems like the Amazon rainforest, Sahara Desert, go and actually experience these places. More and more we live in an urbanised world. There's people and families who struggle to connect with native nature, let alone nature overseas. So it's how do we bring nature and those faraway ecosystems to people so that they can experience and discover them and connect with them. So they're now our pillars. And I started to look at, joining those things together through the lens of a zoo, could it be, with the importance of nature connection in mind, thinking about the audiences that go to zoos, families, young kids and so on, but actually, could it be that as a society we're completely overlooking the idea that it could be an early contributor to disconnect with nature? Because suddenly you're seeing other animals through them and us lens. You're no longer seeing ourselves as animals. So we're born connected to nature, we are nature, but at some point along our journey that starts to dismantle and break down. So I started thinking, so what we're doing now, the beauty of what we're doing now is that we're not trying to fix anything, we're not trying to fix a relationship with nature, we're simply trying to protect what already exists, so in young kids. So we're on track now to open our very first Discovery Centre in 2028. It will be for early learners, so young kids up to Key Stage 2. We're expecting to welcome around 170,000 people a year. We're just in the process of starting to identify our first tenancy and secure our first tenancy. And it will be a space where families, young kids, schools can come and immerse themselves in, we're replicating ecosystems from around the world using all the incredible technology that exists these days, creative, amazing technology. So families will be able to literally walk through a replica of the Amazon rainforest, for example, and it's very interactive, it's very tactile, kids can get involved with all the spaces, and then a playscape central area in the middle. So it's a place to learn with, connect with nature, discover its awe, its wonder, it's taking away captivity and all of those more negative sides, and showing, hopefully, that it is possible to achieve educational, conservation and research goals without the need to keep animals in captivity.
It's just so fascinating. Me, Kev and I have done a lot of work recently for Lancashire Wildlife Trust.
Oh, cool.
And also another one in Berwick, ESR. They're very much about nature. I've learned with LWT, one of our clients, I've learned so much about peat recently.
Oh yeah.
And I had
Yeah,
no
yeah.
idea about it.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. He was boring to me before, but now I'm
Yeah,
fascinated.
it's really, yeah, it's really important. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like, there's so much stuff like people can, and that's what this space would do as well. It's like people recognizing as consumers the power we have when we work together. You know, the choices we make in everyday life, you know, impacts everything around us, and the world needs us. You know, we need to be making decisions like buying peat-free compost at the garden centre, for example. So it's small things, but they all add up, and if we all do them, you know, that's what we need, and that's what's going to make a difference.
Do you think we can catch up though? Because there's, look, AI obviously, it's not. What's the word I'm looking for? It uses a lot of energy.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
But do you think the things that we're doing now is enough to catch up with the negative impact that all this stuff is having?
It's a good question. I mean, there's scientists out there that will say we're already bordering on too late, you know, and it's why it's not enough anymore, and it's still, the world isn't taking, you know, leaders particularly aren't taking it seriously enough. You know, we've gone beyond, you know, using a reusable coffee cup and, you know, a reusable straw. It's got to be big, massive changes, systemic changes. And I think that starts with, I think nature connection is one of the most overlooked and powerful levers for long-term change. And our theory for long-term change is, if we evolve with that and retain that strong connection to nature that we're born with, then tomorrow's CEOs and policymakers and teachers and community members will just automatically make nature-friendly decisions in day-to-day life.
Why should we care? There's some people out there like, well, I'm going to be here for like 30, 40 years now. It's got a really good impact. Why should we care?
It's a planet, it's our only home. There's one, you know, we're destroying it, and it's beautiful. You know, imagine this world without, you know, I'm looking around because we're surrounded by these gorgeous trees in this beautiful field. Imagine we didn't have that. Imagine you didn't spot the odd hedgehog or fox, or, you know, just be able to see those amazing animals like elephants, and, you know, it's incredible. And it's a planet that we should be protecting, and it's, for me, you know, as well now, it's my child. You know, I'm in fear of when he gets to being an adult, you know, there's a risk at this point in time that water will become a commodity that people fight over. Water, you know, that's the reality we're in. And thinking of all the species that wouldn't exist at this moment in time, very real chance that they won't exist by the time that he's an adult. It's just unbelievable. So it's one world, and it's our only home, and yeah, for sure, we should be fighting to protect it. And I think, you know, that's one of my drivers. I can't sit back and do nothing. You know, I want to do something about it and contribute.
During the COVID period, like, my mum passed away sadly during just before the first lockdown. And it was a pretty difficult time. I remember my mother-in-law, we went for a walk. She was like, just hug the tree. Stop it. It's weird. And so she's like, just hug the tree. The tree, it's like the best thing ever.
Yeah,
it's like, it was so grounding.
Yeah, it's just, I think we forget it, like, because we are nature, and it's dismantled from us because of culture and society. And I would say, you know, I was really thinking about this the other day, and like, with my son, who's 3.5 now, I would say I would use the word impossible at this point in time for him to grow up without his connection to nature being broken down, because of kids programs, because of nursery rhymes, because of the places schools visit, because of the language other people use. We don't see ourselves as animals, we don't see ourselves as part of nature. So it's a real fight to protect that, and it's changing the narrative, changing mindsets, and remembering and reconnecting and recognising the benefits that nature gives us, because there are loads, loads.
I have so many questions, and there's just not enough time. There's so much I want to cover. There's one question I want to ask.
Is a magic mic? Okay.
I give you this magic microphone. Whatever you say, whole of society. What's your message?
I think it's make nature, and when I say nature, it's all of nature. It's animals, it's trees, it's the soil, all of it. It's make that part of your daily decisions. Think about the impacts that your choices, your buying choices, you know, the decisions you make in day-to-day life, the impacts they have. And I know it's an inconvenience, and we've become accustomed, I think, to live a life of convenience. And yeah, it's an inconvenience, but it's important, it matters, and you will feel the benefits for it. It will directly benefit you and everybody else all around the world. And we need each other, and we need more kindness, we need more compassion, and we need to fight for a healthier and more compassionate future, and every one of us can contribute to that.
I absolutely love what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's really good.